My name is Karina and welcome to the Karina Chronicles. Today I am introducing an original tag being the Zodiac Sign tag, and I'm going to show you exactly how it works with the current zodiac sign being Aries. I have been thinking about making this tag forever, but I wanted to start at the first zodiac sign, which is this month or this period of time. Zodiac signs go from the 21st of one month to the 21st of the next month, and it's finally the first zodiac sign being Aries, and I feel like this is the perfect way to start the zodiac sign tag. So what I did was I made 10 questions that are about the zodiac sign that we're currently in. If you don't know, zodiac signs are like constellations, and a lot of people all through history get a lot of meaning from these constellations. And everyone has their birthday on a specific day and a zodiac sign according to that birthday. And some people really believe that it tells you something about the person, about what they love, what they don't love, who you match with and who you don't match with. I don't really believe in those kind of things, but I do think astrology is very interesting because it's a science. I don't really believe it to be a science, but if you do, I don't mind. I think it's a very beautiful, I think it's more like a cultural thing, and I really like it. And I think it's very interesting that all through history people find ways to use astrology to predict their futures and to communicate. And I've always been interested in the stars and the space. I've studied applied physics also because I wanted to become an astronomer, which is not an astrologer. But it still really interests me. And then I saw a video by Nevermind Lisa. I will leave her channel down below and the video as well. And she made a Sagittarius book journal. Not book journal, just a journal. She makes recycled journals. So she recycles papers and then makes her own paper and then binds them again with recycled stuff. It's really, she doesn't need a shout out from me at all because she is very popular, mostly on TikTok, but also on YouTube. But she's a personal friend of mine and she also helped me create this channel. And I saw her video and I was like, yes, I need also a zodiac sign tag thingy for BookTube. I already warn you, there might be other people that also did this kind of tag, but I didn't watch them at all. This is my own tag, and if there are any questions alike, then I'm sorry for that, but I really came up with them myself. And then the one last thing I want to say before I actually start. My meaning is that this is going to be a real tag, so you can tag people and those people can do it. I am going to do this tag every month for every zodiac sign. So there will be a monthly video from now on for a whole year with the same questions, but of course different books. And for now I'm doing it with Aries, and I'm going to talk about things and about other people that I know that are Aries. I am not. I'm a Gemini. If you are going to do this tag, you can also do it the same way as I did, but then it might be a bit random. But you can also change the questions a little bit to do it only on your specific zodiac sign thing. I will tell you the questions that I'm going to answer in all these and how you can change them a bit to pique them to your own interest. So that's a whole lot of introduction for this one tag, but let's quickly start with the 10 questions / prompts that I came up with about Aries. So the first question or prompt is a book title or book cover that matches the zodiac sign. For now it's Aries, which is translated to Dutch but also to English actually, because Aries is just a Latin name, is ram. So that's the animal. And the first book that came to mind is actually not with a ram, but with a stag. But I still think it's kind of made me feel Aries vibes, and you will see throughout the whole video, it's never really clear, it's just a vibe, but I think that really fits astrology. So it's Shadow and Bone by Leigh Bardugo. This book is very popular, and funny thing, Leigh Bardugo is also an Aries, so this book fits perfectly in this video. You are following Alina Starkov, and she is kind of a soldier, and she is protecting her country, but meeting all these people along the way. And I feel like a lot of people say this is just introductory. You will like it or you will not like it. I thought it was mediocre, but you need it to fully like the whole rest of the series. This is a trilogy, but there's also a companion duology for which you also actually need to have read this first book at least, and then you have another companion duology. So a lot you can read into. But look at this beautiful stack. Doesn't this give you Aries vibes? Because it definitely does with me. So the second question or prompt that I'm going to answer is a character that has the specific traits that astrologers give to this zodiac sign. So in this case, Aries. And an Aries should be, or is in astrologers' opinions, brave, independent, and impulsive. Well, brave and independent is every main character in a YA novel ever. But impulsive is something I don't really would say of every main character. A lot of those main characters really think of what they're doing, what is good, what is bad, what can I do next, and impulsive, and therefore being sometimes in danger is not every character. But the character that really has that, and the book I would really recommend, is Scarlet by Marissa Meyer. If you don't know, this is the second part in the Lunar Chronicles, one of my favorite series of all time. I actually named my channel after the Lunar Chronicles. And this is the second part, but all parts are based on a fairy tale. And you follow a lot of characters, but every book is from the perspective of a new character. So the first book was called Cinder, and it's based on Cinderella. And in the second book, you do need to read the first book first. But if you are reading Scarlet, you follow Scarlet and you see Cinder in the story, but you are now focusing on Scarlet. And this book is based on Little Red Riding Hood. And Scarlet, I would say, is impulsive, but she's also very brave and independent. So I think this perfectly fits the prompt. So the third prompt is a book by an author that actually is the current zodiac sign, being Aries. And I chose Mary Hoffman and her book City of Masks. I'm sorry, I lost a dust jacket. I know, that's very bad, but I bought it secondhand and it didn't have a dust jacket anymore. The other books are very pretty on the naked cover, but this one is a little bit weird. But this is the first part in the Stravaganza series. This is actually a middle grade book series, but it's very good, and I think the first book, City of Masks, is actually the best. It's about a guy that in this world is getting very sick. He has cancer, and in his dream world he is going to another world, but he quickly finds out it's not actually a dream world. He's actually kind of traveling between universes. And in this other world he arrives in Italy, actually in Venice, the City of Masks. And he comes in close contact with important people there and try to help them prevent war from happening and stop the villains. And it is so great. It is much more than just a middle grade. It is a very good book. And I love the whole series. Those are actually kind of standalones, although it's nice to start at the beginning because then you know the characters. But those are kind of standalones, and this one is actually the best. So, and Mary Hoffman is an Aries. So for the fourth prompt, I wanted to have a book that features the color of the current zodiac sign. If you just Google color and then the zodiac sign, you get a specific color. Same with these traits I just mentioned, and also same with like gems and stuff. And the color of Aries is red. And the first book that came to mind is Everless by Sarah Holland, because this is very red, but also it has red painted edges. This is not a special edition or anything. This is just a normal paperback. If you buy this one, you get red painted edges, which is really nice. This story is a fantasy world where you pay with your blood, kind of. Sounds very gruesome, it kind of is. So people who are rich live longer. And you have this girl. The back just says, blood is money, time is power, desire is treachery. So I really like this book. I gave it 5 stars, but I do still need to read the sequel because it's a duology and the story really isn't finished in this one. But I really like the setting in the world and also the characters actually. So highly recommend this one. And it's red. So the next prompt is indeed the gem that I just talked about. If you Google on gem, you get a specific stone that suits the zodiac sign. And for Aries, that is diamond. And I didn't have any book that really featured a diamond, an important diamond, or had it in the title or something. But it did make me think of Throne of Glass, because glass is kind of diamond, you know. So Throne of Glass by Sarah J Maas. This is the first book in a 7-book series that is actually finished now. And it is highly popular. I have heard that starting from book 3 or 4, it becomes a completely different fantasy world and really high fantasy. Book 1 is just a very typical YA fantasy, but I really enjoyed it. It is a little bit cliche, but I really liked it. And I have read book 2. I didn't really like that one, and I still need to continue this series. I would just recommend to read this book if you feel like YA fantasy is something for you, because I think this one will be something for you then as well. For the next prompt, I want you and myself to choose a book that fits the element of the zodiac sign. So the zodiac signs are divided in 4 elements, being air, fire, water, earth. But for Aries, it's fire. And the first book that came to mind is the first book in the Song of Ice and Fire series, being A Game of Thrones by George R.R. Martin. This is my favorite book of all time. So please read this. This is high fantasy, adult fantasy. It is very political, very difficult. A lot of people don't really like it because it's too thick, or like this book is okay, but the other books are more than 1,000 pages each. But it's my favorite fantasy series ever. It's written so well. It isn't finished yet, and I really cry about that a lot. But it's really good. People like the TV series as well, but it's not as good as the books. The books are incredible. Read this. A Song of Ice and Fire series. A Game of Thrones is the first one. And the next book I want to recommend is for the following prompt, being the season of the zodiac sign. And of course, the month that the zodiac sign is in falls into a season. Aries has spring. I'm so happy it's spring. Sun shining. Very nice. And a book that really reminds me of spring is Watership Down by Richard Adams. This book is about rabbits, and they are going to move because they are being threatened. And it is like a metaphor for human society, and you learn so much. These animals are incredible. It's a heartbreaking story, but it is so good. And it is not childish in any means. I mean, the main characters are animals, I know, but it is so good. You should really read this book. And because of all the rabbits, it really made me feel like spring. So I thought it would be a good book to recommend here. So the next prompt needs a little bit of an introduction. I have read the following book, being a review copy for me. The Astropoets by Alex Dimitrov and Dorothea Lesky. And they call themselves the Astropoets. They have a podcast, I believe, and they also wrote this book about the zodiac signs. And I was really interested in this because I felt, as I earlier said, it's a really interesting science, and also really interesting how throughout history people keep using astrology to explain things. But they didn't explain anything. I really didn't like this book. They even said that a certain zodiac sign were always mean people. And it was not a joke. They really disliked these people and were going to tell why they were all mean people. And I was like, well, no, not 1/12 of the whole universe is like a bad person, but okay. They did have Spotify list for every zodiac sign. And I made a whole Spotify list of all the numbers from all the zodiac signs. But I will also put on the screen the zodiac sign or the Spotify list for Aries. So I will put the numbers that they think that are really typical Aries on the screen. And I choose a book that fits one of those songs. So I first want to have an honorable mention. I always did Heartstopper by Alice Oseman as a book that made me think of My Heart Will Go On by Celine Dion, because I thought it was very funny. But I haven't read Heartstopper yet. So I thought it's not a good recommendation. Although everyone loves that book, I want to recommend books that I actually read myself. So I am going with Ain't No Mountain High Enough, and I am recommending Beneath the Mountain by Luca and Andrea. And this book is the book I'm currently reading, so I haven't finished it, but I still want to recommend it because it reads so fast. It's a thriller, it's really good. I really like how they describe the mountains in here, and it's a very good thriller. So I'm really happy I'm reading this, and I also would really recommend you to do so. For the next prompt, you can show your own favorite book if you are the current zodiac sign, because I think that we just want to know your favorites. But for me, as I'm not an Aries, I am not going to show my favorite book every video. So what I'm doing is showing the favorite book of one of my favorite people with the current zodiac sign. For now, I'm using the favorite book of my sister. She's called Nicoline. And I have a picture of her beautiful, just painted hair on here, because I think I should share it, because it's the most Instagram worthy picture I've ever seen. And I am very jealous that she is so brave to do this, and also that she can make these kind of pictures. Please teach me. But I also think it's really cool. Her favorite book is Loveless by Alice Oseman. I haven't read this book yet, and she really hates me for it. I'm really, really sorry. But I am definitely planning on reading this one. This is about a girl that finds out that she is asexual, and the story is apparently very, very beautiful, heartbreaking, and also very informative. If you want to learn more about the asexual people in your life, and you want to understand them more, or if you want to understand yourself more, if you're struggling with this, this is apparently the perfect book for that, and I really want to read it. So this is the favorite book of Nicoline. Please read it. And the 10th prompt is a little bit of a bonus question, because I really, really, really like science fiction and I really like space. So every video I'm just going to recommend you a book that takes place in space or is called science fiction, because it has something to do with astrology in that way, right? And the first book I'm going to recommend is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. And this is the most wholesome science fiction you'll ever read. This is so good. It's mostly about the characters. It's also a very good novel if you want to start with science fiction, because it's not what I would call hard science fiction. There are not very complicated theories. It just takes place in space. And there are aliens, but they are very nice. And it's kind of a way of telling how people are also very different, but they describe it by having different kind of aliens. And the relationships in here are very wholesome. And this book just warmed my heart in so many ways. And I need to continue this series, but it is a standalone. But the series it is a series of companion novels, and I need to continue it. So I would highly recommend you to read this book if you are Aries or not. I don't care. And that was actually it. I really, really liked filming this video. I also really hope that you liked this video. If you want to do this tag, please do so and tag me in it. Let me know that you did it. I will definitely come watch it. But please say that you got it from me, because I put a lot of effort in this. If you have any questions, for example, about the colors or the gems or the elements, I can look them up for you. You can ask me anything you want to know about it, and I will definitely make sure to answer you. Please leave down in the comments below, if you're an Aries, what is your favorite book? Because I would really like to know and have more recommendations for this specific zodiac sign. And if you're not, but you have strong feelings towards a specific book that you think that really fits all the traits we just said about Aries, please let us know as well. I would really like to know. I am also tagging 3 people myself, of which I really hope they will do the tag as well, being Aramus, Percy Does Everything, and Break Even Books, because I love all of their channels. I watch all their videos, so I really hope you will too, and that they will consider doing this tag. I'll leave their channels down below, as well as the one from Nevermind Lisa, because she's awesome. And that was it for this video. I really hope you liked it. If you did so, please leave a like. If you subscribe to my channel and you click the notification bell, you will be notified whenever I post a new video. I will post the next video, being Taurus, next month, so you can look forward to that. I hope you'll have a lovely day filled with books, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye! I have been waiting so long to make this tag, and I am so happy with how it turned out. I really hope you like to do this one as well, and please let me know if you did, because I would be over the moon so happy.